And at this time, will you please rise for the procession of our inductees this evening? Please rise. Give our inductees a round of applause. Thank you. Well, once again, good evening. I am so honored and grateful to be here and to be your principal at Eccleston. I want you to know that it's been a great year. I would like you to know how welcome Ms. Young and I have felt as Eccleston Eagles, and I think we've been fully indoctrinated after tonight, seeing the parent induction ceremony. We have really, really enjoyed our year working with the little Eagles here and with you. And I want to tell you, I've not ever seen a parenting program at any other school like Eccleston has, and that is all thanks to Ms. Chandler and Ms. Chandler's EPIC committee. Can you please stand, members of the EPIC committee? Thank you so much, Ms. Chandler and the EPIC committee. And we have one other member of the EPIC committee, but she has just had some knee surgery, and she is on her very first outing. Dr. Walters, thank you for coming. Thank you. I feel like I'm so far away from y'all over here. I need to... A little closer. All right. So we are going to go ahead and start our ceremony tonight. Thank you for all that you do. This night is to honor you and all of your accomplishments, all of your involvement. We know that the child's first and foremost teacher is their parent, and most of the teaching that they get is from home. So you are the most important person to your child and to us here as the staff at Eccleston. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for everything that you do to support your child and in turn to support us and the school. We are going to have some inspirational thoughts from an Eccleston Eagle, once an Eagle, always an Eagle. She has just retired in January. But she has come back to share this special evening with us, and that is Mrs. Janie Brinson. Come on up, Mrs. Janie.
Just a brief word of inspiration. God is not a set of opinions that distinguish us from others. God is not a series of rules we're asked to argue. God is not a faith we must defend. God doesn't need us. God has us. God is the grace that rests gently on our eyes. God is the presence that keeps our hearts from fear. God is the welcome that we cannot wear out. God doesn't divide us from reality. God is reality. A thought by Hugh Prather.
And now I would like to to welcome up to the stage one of our wonderful fourth grade teachers who has been a longtime member of the Eccleston family, and that is Ms. Sarita Johnson, to give you more of a welcome.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. This is just a wonderful time for us to celebrate our parents, to celebrate your commitment, your dedication to the success of your child. Just as it was said before, we know that you are their first teacher. And so we honor you today. This is an honor to be able to look out here and to see these parents who are so totally involved in their children's education. And we are so thankful to have you, because it could have been somewhere else, at another school, where they don't have this type of participation. And because of you, we know that that's why we're eagles, and that's why we're gonna soar high. So we thank you so much. Today, I'm going to give you the welcome. I've welcomed you here. I wanna welcome our guests who decided to come, and they didn't think harm to take a moment out of their time to come and enjoy this occasion as we induct our parents into this honor society. So we thank you for coming out tonight. The Parent Honor Society that we have here honors our parents on their participation in school, on their participation in coming to parent conferences, Dads and Donuts, Moms and Muffins, and any other school event that we have here at school. They also are honored because their children may have been honor students. So they get points for that. They get points for any involvement that they have decided to choose to do with their children here at this school. And because of all of that, that's why we're here tonight. So on behalf of Eccleston Elementary's Ms. Dr. Helton, our assistant principal, Ms. Tarisha Young, and Ms. Chandler, and all of the teachers here at Eccleston Elementary, thank you and welcome.
Good evening, Eagles, parents, students, and staff. I would also like to welcome you all from the bottom of my heart. It really shows that you appreciate and you really understand the role that we play in your child's life, but more importantly tonight, the fact that we are celebrating the major role that you play in all of us educating the lives of all the children who attend here. Again, as Dr. Helton said before, I have worked at several other schools and I have never seen a program quite like what we have here in terms of the support from our parents, as well as individuals like Ms. Chandler, who relentlessly comes up with innovative ideas to ensure that our parents are able to be involved, whether they are on campus, off campus. So again, I would like to thank all of you for coming out. Again, our EPIC committee is truly that, epic. I have never seen anything quite like it. And for all of our teachers and staff that are in the building that are here assisting, that are here to celebrate all of our wonderful parents. Again, thank you all as well, and parents, we appreciate your support.
Ms. Chandler is our soloist here.
Is that you?
Okay, we are just about ready to go. I would like to introduce Dr. Mary Woolridge, President of MJ Woolridge Consulting and WGU faculty, who will be our soloist this evening. We look forward to hearing it. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Hello. It's absolutely awesome to be here, and I wouldn't have missed it. And I just want to say to your principal, to your assistant principal, to your faculty, to your staff, it's an absolute honor to come every single year. And this year was challenging, but I was like, oh no, I am going. Because every time we can celebrate parents who are doing great things for their children, it is a time that everybody, in fact, this room should be flowing, overflowing with people, because everybody is not doing the right things by their children. And we celebrate you for doing that for your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews, whoever it is whose lives you're touching. We want to say thank you. And so this song simply says, thank you. I don't want you to give up. I want you to know that your children need you every single day. And we're coming upon Mother's Day, and that's one of the reasons I thought about this song, is because at this time of the year we celebrate our moms. And one of these days your daughter, your son, your niece, your nephew is going to be standing here saying, thank you. And instead of focusing on the negative things that may happen, I want you to always look up and say, thank you. I've had sickness, and I've had pain, yes I have. My heart has been broken, and my life has been filled with pain. But in spite of everything that I have been through, I still gotta say thank you. I've been up, and there were times I've been down, yes I have. I've even had my life turned completely around. But in spite of everything that I've been through, I still take time and say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your blessings. In spite of my mess, you reached down and blessed me. In the midst of my days, in spite of everything that I've been through, I still take the time to say thank you. For you blessed me. In spite of my mess, you reached down and you blessed me. Right there in the midst of my days, in spite of everything I've been through, I still gotta take the time and say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I gotta say thank you. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, yeah. Thank you, yes.
Thank you, thank you. Take the time and say thank you. Doesn't matter what you go through with your children, always say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Woolridge. That was wonderful. Let's give her another round of applause, please. That was amazing. Her voice was amazing. I always wish I could sing. I really enjoy listening to people who can. Okay, so this evening we are going to have some fun inducting some members of the Parent Honor Society. There are 4 pillars of the Parent Honor Society. They are leadership, involvement, excellence, and knowledge. And each of the pillars is going to be presented by one or more. There's a duo presenting one of them, of our wonderful parents and volunteers. The first one is Mrs. Lothar Cherry. She will present about the pillar of leadership. Mrs. Cherry, come on. No one told me there'd be fire. While Mrs. Cherry is getting the fire going, we've had someone slip in, a very special person, our Commissioner, Mr. Ings. Thank you, Mr. Ings, for being here, Commissioner Ings. And now, Mrs. Cherry.
Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. It's been a good day. Leadership. I will light the candle of leadership. Leadership is a process whereby one influences a group of people or individuals to achieve a common vision. Parental leadership is the most important responsibility in a family. Did you know that? It is a requirement, not an opinion, in raising children. Parents are required to lead, and not children, parents. Parental leadership is establishing clear directions for our family and influencing them to follow. It means to provide guidance, motivation, inspiration, support, and structure for our children to acquire the knowledge, skills, and attitude to succeed. As I light the candle, I ignite and acknowledge that a family unit has unlimited potential and power. With good parenting, together, we can achieve everything. Leadership. Amen.
Next up, we will have Ms. Dion Turner, who will present the pillar of involvement.
Good afternoon. I would like the candle that represents parental involvement. Involvement means to connect, to participate, to engage, to support. When parents apply these meanings at home, school, and in the community, it has been proven that children are successful. This pillar is of support that cannot be left out of a child's life. Parental involvement is a better indicator of a child's academic success than the student's IQ, socioeconomic status. Therefore, this pillar is essential in parenting role. Parents who set high academic expectations for their children and get involved. That word stand again, get involved in their learning often finds that children meet that expectation. Keep the light of parental involvement shining brightly. It serves as a beacon to guide your child to a bright future. Thank you very much. Stay involved.
Next up to light the pillar of excellence, we have one of our own teachers, Mrs. Sonia Haynes, and parent as well, and her husband, Mr. Anthony Haynes. They have a second grader here, and Mrs. Haynes is a teacher here.
We would like the candle of excellence to represent the quality of high expectations and performance. Excellence generally means outstanding achievement over and above the defined threshold. The Parent Honor Society is committed to teaching our children excellence so they will always strive to do their best. We believe that practicing excellence in schoolwork will develop smart students, and practicing values and good behavior will develop great character and a positive attitude.
The pillar of excellence builds success. Keep the light of excellence shining bright as a constant reminder for your children to see and believe that they can achieve their best effort.
Excellence.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Haynes. And our final pillar of Parent Honor Society is presented by Ms. Tambra Jackson, and that is the ever important pillar of knowledge.
Good evening, parents and families. I'd like the candle of knowledge to represent what Parent Honor Society members strive to attain for all children. Knowledge is power. Let's say that together. Knowledge is power. It is a pillar that transforms the community by serving as an equalizer. As parents and guardians, we must be committed to our children's learning. This means that we can't leave all the teaching up to those at school. We are our children's first and most powerful teachers because they learn what they live. We must make sure that our children are getting the foundational skills at home that prepare them for learning at school. The Parent Honor Society embraces knowledge as one of its pillars because knowledge is necessary for our children to succeed and live purposeful lives. I bring you knowledge.
And now now we get to present our honorees. In order to present the honorees, I have some very special people up here. I have, oh, we're moving the table with the fire. Yeah, good job, ladies. Let's give them a round of applause. In order to present the honorees, I will call to the stage Ms. Willie Martin, Ms. Paula Kohler, back up Ms. Janie Brinson, Mrs. Janie Brinson, and Ms. Sarita Johnson. Come on up, ladies, to present our honorees.
Our first honoree is Vita Carter. Gotta get that picture taken. Awesome. Ms. Lovick Cherry. Ms. Sonia Edwards. Ms. Pamelia Gibson. Ms. Ebony Mason. Oh, you see it. Ms. Ethel Pierce. Ms. Latoya Caldwell. Ms. Robbie Moore. Miss Nicole Daniel. If they have a medallion, that means that they have been in the program for more than 1 year. So they have been inducted in the ceremony, and this is their continuous involvement with their children. Ms. Araman Dutas, I'm sorry. Ms. Laquita Ford. Ms. Alice Jackson. Ms. Tambra Jackson. Ms. Lakeisha Hudson. Ms. Sonia Haynes. Mr. Anthony Haynes. Ms. Jaquetta Johnson. Ms. Dion Turner. Ms. Shelley Petois. Ms. Shalando Ellington. Ms. Jennifer Miller. And standing in her absence, Ms. Tiffany Roundtree. Mr. Rashad Tillman. Congratulations to our 2017 Parent Honor Society. Would you please stand and give them a round of applause? Congratulations. I neglected to say earlier that this is our 6th annual Parent Honor Society. This has been going on for 6 years. Isn't that amazing and wonderful? That's how we do it at Eccleston. That's how we do it. We do it. All right. Congratulations again.
All right, inductees, I get the pleasure of leading you in your pledge. So inductees, please stand. Please stand. And this is the Eccleston Elementary School Parent Honor Society Pledge of Induction. So repeat after me. I state your name. Pledge to continue. To support my child's education. I have set high expectations. And anticipate. That my child. Will maintain these standards. Thus enabling them. To succeed in school and life. I will ensure. That education remains a priority. And I will remain actively involved. In his or her learning. I understand. That education is the key to success. Therefore, I will make every effort. To nurture my child's ability to learn. Thank you so much. You are now officially inducted. You may be seated, inductee. Uh-oh. Ms. Peach. Commissioner King, could you come back up? Reverend, Ms. Brinson, Mrs. Johnson, come on up. Ms. Young. Photographer.
This is one of our very dedicated supporters. This is Miss Mary Maxwell. We could not let this happen without acknowledging her. We had to find her. Did you see her? The grand for us?
And now, a very special welcome to former OCPS principal of Carver Middle, right across the road. And she is the academic liaison to the Boys and Girls Clubs in the 21st Century Grant Program. And she is going to come and give us the Parent Challenge. This is Dr. Clara Walters.
This is my first night out after having complete knee surgery for a knee replacement. So Mrs. Maxwell, you can't tell you saw me tonight. Don't tell on me. I could not miss it. To Dr. Helton, your staff, students, our honorees, guests, Commissioner Ings, and all who celebrate tonight. I'm so happy to see, I see a grandmother back there that I was her high school principal. Raise your hand. That was one of my high school students. She graduated from high school under me, boy. She was some basketball player. She was a little bit of a challenge, but she couldn't handle me. I want to share with you this evening just a thought on labels and attitudes matter. Label and attitude matter. You see, I started teaching school 51 years ago. I'm not a Girl Scout. 51 years ago, I started teaching school. My second year teaching, I came to Orange County and was hired to teach at Carver Junior High School. I did not get to make a day there as a teacher because that was the year they were transferring some faculty members to begin the desegregation of schools in Orange County. So I was sent to integrate the faculty of Oak Ridge High School 50 years ago. There were 2 African American teachers sent to integrate that large faculty, and I was one. But etched in my memory, it's what schools meant in our community without labeling and with a good attitude. And I can't come to talk to you without, you all know the mission that I'm on, and I'm so glad Commissioner Ing was here because maybe he can help me promote this. The mission that I'm on is to change the label of schools from at risk to at promise. Why can't you be at promise of greatness instead of at risk of failure? I remember when I started teaching school and when I went to school, and I see some faces in here tonight probably with me can remember when we were not at risk, there were no such as discipline problems in school. There was no such. We didn't have that. Somebody coming and talking back to me. There was no such. Parents took care of that. Kids came to school feeling worthy because families, we had nothing, but we made our children feel worthy. And feeling that they were worthy and they were capable. And when they got to school with those 2 things, I'm worthy of your teaching, I'm worthy of your caring. When they got to school with that, and we were dedicated to teaching them, because it was purposed in our hearts to educate our people. We had passion. We had promise for them. And we had a plan of action. And we got a product. So everywhere I am in the community, you can see I'm down at Boys and Girls Club now running them. Because everywhere our children are, and I get an opportunity to get in there and do something to help build this community, I'm doing it. In later years, after what I first experienced at Carver when I came there when it was not an at-risk school, in 1979, I was named principal of Carver Junior High School, and that was at the peak of when it was at its worst. And they named me the first female to principal of secondary school. And I started principaling Carver in 1979. But I took old school rules and added it to some new school accountability, and we got peace in the valley. We got peace in that valley. And in 2 years, it was rumored, oh, they gonna send you to high school. I was scared to death. You all just didn't know how scared I was. You all would have tried me. They'd already put the word out, let her come up here painting some lines on the sidewalk. Let her come up here with that junior high school rules and see what we gonna do. That's what they said. I took them junior high school rules right on up to Jones High School in 1981. And I was there from 81 to 90. Because I treated children not like they were at risk of failing, but they were at promise of greatness. So I know what labels and attitude can do. I went in there with the theme, I'm pushing a positive attitude. They had to wear a button, remember? They had to put on a button, I'm pushing a positive attitude. I put it on the basketball warm-up uniforms. When I went and talked to the team and told them what I wanted to do, I wanted them to help me push a positive attitude, and I was going to have it on the unit. Leaving that meeting out of the gym, I heard a couple of the boys say, I ain't going to wear that S. Y'all know what they said. I said, but what they didn't know, it was already on the uniform, so it was nothing I could do about it. I already had it put on there. But that night, I never shall forget when they came out with that uniform on and went around for the warm-up lap. The community stood up and started clapping. I'm pushing a positive attitude. And with that theme, and working on those children's attitude and saying everything that don't go with pushing a positive attitude, gotta get out of here. That's gotta go. And the first thing I had to do to show those kids I meant business about their promise for greatness, we had an awesome girls basketball team. And they were in the playoffs. And they were playing that afternoon up in Lake Mary, Florida. I never shall forget it. Me neither. Oh, she was a baller. She could play it. Oh, they were playing. But they were roughhousing just like they come from the ghetto. I went down there on that sideline and I told them, give it up. I said, pull them out. Pull the whole first string out. And he looked at me like I was crazy. But he knew he better pull them out if I say pull them out. And he took the A team out and put the backup team in there. And guess what? They lost the game. Regina Hill often tells the story now that they were mad with me. She said we hated her. But she said I'm who I am today because of some of that stuff she put on us, because she was on that basketball team too. She said she didn't care about whether we won that game or not. She cared about how we played the game. And that's the kind of attitude that we got to give our children. We've got to reclaim our schools. We have gotten too comfortable with the label at risk. We got at-risk children, youth, at-risk families, at-risk community, and at-risk schools. When I left Jones High School, I was promoted to Senior Director for Secondary Education, and I was assigned the middle and high schools on the east side of town. I did not have one at-risk school. I had our most affluent schools to supervise. Affluent people don't let you label their schools. They don't accept it. You won't go over there and find any at-risk schools because they believe that their children are worthy and capable. Why can't we do the same? We have gotten too comfortable with being at risk. This label came about in 1983 after the publication of the policy report, A Nation at Risk. And that report cautioned that America's way of life was threatened by a rising tide of mediocrity within the school system. And that's where the at-risk started. And on this side of town, all of our schools are at risk. Because we accept that. Handouts go with that. The emphasis is on, when you're talking about at-risk school, it's not that people aren't teaching hard, but the emphasis is on prevention and intervention and social services. Prevention and because if you are at risk, I gotta do what? Prevent you from failing. So you don't get, I gotta do so much remediation and so much prevention and all of that. You don't get time to go to the higher level stuff that much. And much of that is because we as parents and community don't do our job at home. We expect Dr. Helton and her staff to do it all. I'm here to tell you tonight, home is the first place. Community next, and the school is the third. Every day, every morning, the homes in this community and the community assembles at Eccleston Elementary School. But just what's going on at home and in the community is just what comes here. This staff can't fix it by themselves. It takes a partnership. And that is why 6 years ago, I originated the Parent Honor Society at Eccleston. I originated that. I wrote those 6 years because I wanted to help this school brand a label that would say to our parents, you're in an honor society that says you're engaged and you are supporting your children. And so that's how we got that going, and you are labeled as Eccleston Parent Honor Society members. What are you going to do with that label? And they have explained to you what attitude you should have as a member of this honor society. And you may say, well, it's only a few of us. Look at all, there is power in one. So here's my challenge to you tonight. Let's make Eccleston great again. If one man could say, let's make America great again, and start a whole revolution of change, why can't you say, let's make Eccleston great again and apply the same principle and start a new revolution in this school that we're going to be great because we feel good about ourselves. We're going to transmit that to our children. We're going to make sure our children do the things they need to do. And we're going to hold our school accountable to do what you need to do. I serve on your SAC committee. I've been hanging around Eccleston since 2001. I serve on SAC committee. Okay? And you have one of the best SAC committees, because I serve on 7 school SAC committee. My husband's so happy that that I'm down because I can stay home some. Because he has a hard time with me, because I am on a mission to change lives, and it makes a difference. So my challenge to you tonight is let's make Eccleston great again. Parents, make the difference. Parents make the difference in great schools. Because, and here are the things I want you to remember, they expect more. They participate more in school curricula and extracurricular activities and programs. They prepare their children mentally, physically, and emotionally for more school. They hold their children more accountable for their own success. They hold policy makers and school staff accountable for school success. They are informed about education, policy, and procedures. They demonstrate care and concern. They support the school, volunteering, fundraising, supporting the teachers. They don't accept labels. So my challenge to you, instead of looking at our school as at-risk Eccleston, I challenge you to start thinking. So a man thinketh, so is he. And there is power in the tongue. We are at risk of greatness. Say that with me. We are at risk of greatness, not failure. Okay? So with that, I challenge you to become the greatest support that this principal has ever had, and be influencers to spread the influence. And let's have triple time this many parents getting involved next year. You be a committee of 1 to get other parents involved at your grade levels. Thank you, and may God bless.
So much, Dr. Walters. I just love listening to your wisdom. I've learned so much from this young lady this year, and I feel very privileged that she is here helping Eccleston and our community. So thank you, Dr. Walters, very much. And we now have one more treat from Dr. Mary Woolrich, a tribute to our honorees. Dr. Woolrich, come on back up.
So much of what Dr. Walters said, I certainly concur with. And I just want to encourage the parents, just do it, like they say with the sneakers. Just do it. Even when it doesn't feel good, just do it. I often reflect on my mother who raised 7 children, and the oldest was 10 when my father died. And that was tough. I watched her many days. I watched her just not have food for us. I watched the lights be off. I watched the water be off. I watched the water hose coming through our window from the next door neighbor's house just so that we could have water. But my mother never left us alone. She never gave up on us. And I was telling a group a little while ago, which makes me love her. She's 84 now, but it makes me love her because she never chose a man over her children. And to me, that's critical, and I try to get that message across to any young mother that is not married that I see. Make your children priority. He'll be there when they're gone, trust me. And she did that for us, and today she is absolutely rotten. She is rotten. I mean, right now, she was slated to be here with me tonight, but my sisters flew her to Richmond. Whatever she says goes. We let her do that right now. But I just think that no matter what you go through as a parent, you have to know that it's going to be okay. And one of the songs that I was going to sing, but I can't really hear the music from back there, so I thought I won't do that again the second time. But the song basically says that I never would have made it without you. And I think about my mother and I say, I never would have made it without her. And people look at me now and they think, oh, she has a doctorate degree and all of that. And, you know, I'm like, okay, wait until, if it impacts my paycheck, then you can call me doctor. And the rest of the time, I'm just married. But if you want to give me an increase in my paycheck and I need that, okay, you can call me doctor. But I know that if it had not been for my mother staying by our side, that we never would have made it. Never would have made it. Because when people tried to encourage her to split us up, because there were so many of us, our house burned down one year, and it was like, where y'all gonna send these children? You got 7 kids. What are you going to do with them? But my mother stayed right there. So I encourage all of the parents to stick by your kids. And this is just a hymn. Sometimes, a lot of times I sing when I come over, just to share the sentiments of my heart. I don't know what I would do without the Lord. I don't know what I would do without the Lord. For when I look all around and see everything that the Lord has done for me, I just don't know what I would do without the Lord. I know that the Lord will make a way. Oh yes, He will. I know the Lord, He will make a way. Yes, He will. He'll make a way for every one of you. I'm a witness that the Lord will see you safely through. I know that the Lord, I know that the Lord, I know that the Lord, I know He'll make a way. Oh yes, He will. Thank you.
It has been such an honor tonight to be a part of such a special event. Again, as I mentioned when I started, I have never, ever quite seen anything like what is taking place tonight. Again, I want to congratulate all of our inductees again and thank all of our guests tonight, Commissioner Ings, Dr. Walters, Dr. Woolridge, all of our parents that are here, the faculty and staff. I see a lot of our Eagles that are sitting in the audience, and one of the things that I was thinking about as Dr. Walters presented the challenge to the parents, I want to challenge each of you to just celebrate and love on your parents tonight. Not everybody is as fortunate to have parents being inducted to really demonstrate and prove that they are here to support you in all of your endeavors as well as the school that you are attending. So I'm challenging each of my little Eagles tonight that have parents that were inducted, grandparents, or guardians to love on them and really thank them for the support that they are providing you each and every day. Again, it has been such an honor to be here tonight, and I thank you all for coming. We are going to close out with just a brief prayer, so I'm going to pass the mic over.
Thank you, Dr. Young. It's been a glorious evening. Let us pause and honor the Lord. Almighty, we honor you at this time for your kindness, for your love. We thank you for the leadership of Dr. Dalton and the staff. We thank you tonight for the leadership of Mrs. Chandler. Thank you for these tremendous parents. We honor you at this time for our health and strength come from you. And Father, we bless this food, we bless the fellowship. And by your authority and power, I bless this school. Yes. Father, we pray your grace descend right now in answer to our humble prayer on this staff, on these students. In Jesus' name, let our label of excellence and our expectation of success permeate our hearts at this time. We honor you today in Jesus' name by admitting that we belong to you. Amen. Amen.